Welcome to Autism Tips and Tools, where we highlight the best practical guidance from previous episodes of Autism Knows No Borders. Whether you're a self-advocate, a family member, or a service provider, there's something here for you. I'm Rachel Harmon, a professional in the field of autism services, outreach, and advocacy, and the following clip is from my conversation with Robert Schmus. Robert is an autistic self-advocate, a licensed clinical social worker, and a blogger for The Mighty. As a therapist, he provides individual and group sessions at a residential home for adolescents with autism and other co-occurring diagnoses. Here's Robert talking about his responsibilities as a social worker and how to help adolescents transition into adulthood.
My current job, what I do, I work at the residential house. I am the full-time therapist in which I do therapy with each of them once a week. I also do check-ins with each of them twice a week. And the sessions and check-ins, like the type of therapy approaches I use definitely vary because, knowing autism, there's autistics who have more cognitive abilities and those who struggle more with cognition and other issues or who might have limited communication. So you have to really have to tailor to what their individual needs are. For instance, like there have been clients who I've worked with who I can utilize CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, as well as motivational interviewing. And then there are those who I have to be more like creative. I have to do more hands-on activities, like using sensory items and deep breathing as a way of helping them, because a lot of them have issues with anxiety and anger and self-interest behaviors due to frustration. And I also conduct clinical group 3 times a week in which is more hands-on. Like it's not as like what you would think of a clinical group, which there'd be just all talking. Like we have to do more hands-on activities in regards to topics of that day. Like, for mindfulness, we would do a kind of like a meditation session, or an anger management. We would kind of like, there's this activity I do, which I've actually found through a book I read in the past, in which there's this drawing of a bug. It's called like the anger bug or worry bug. And I had like the clients like in the group, like color it in or draw or write it in. And when they're drawing in, think of like the things that make you worry, make you angry. And in the center of the room is like this basket. And what I do is I want you to take the bug and squash it with your hands. And I want you to throw it into the trash can. That's going to be considering disposing of your anger.
Mm-hmm. And that's really effective?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. It's kind of like I've done something where I wrote down my complaints and I burned it in a trash can.
That's awesome.
It's funny how it just, like that physical disposal really creates a clearing inside of you.
Yeah, it definitely does. It might sound simple at first, but when you really think about it, especially for clients who've had issues of anger and, depression and anxiety, just they won't want to take that apart. And even though, like I said, it might sound simple, like you're really actually disposing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that you work with are adults, correct?
Actually, no, they are adolescents.
Adolescents, right. Okay. So what do you think would help autistic adolescents transition into adulthood?
Well, one thing I can definitely say is know what they need and hear them out from what they need. So this could be a kid, there could be a teen who wants to live away at school. Like give them work with them towards that goal. Or one of them wants to go to trade school, work on with them towards that goal. Like don't assume just because they're autistic, they like what their needs will be without asking them. And for one, like I can definitely tell you a personal story with that. When I was in high school junior year, I've always had an IEP because I've also had like certain learning disabilities for my diagnosis of autism. So there knows that because my IEP IEP, I would get psychological evaluations now and then in school. I remember this one psychologist, this older gentleman. I kind of talked to him about like what I was going through, what I went through, and and the things I want to do. Like I wanted to live away at school and live on my own, And after the evaluation, again, a couple weeks later, like I received a paper form of a documented evaluation for the mail, and my parents would let me read them, because that's another thing. Definitely have, if the autistic teen is able to, let them read their own documents.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hide that from them. And anywho, I read it, and near the end, in the summary, it said Robert Schmus. It read online, so Robert Schmus wants to go to school, live away at school. However, due to his diagnosis, it seems unrealistic. I was definitely taken aback by that. Like I was like, no, who are you? Who the hell are you to tell me how to freaking live my life? And I showed my parents, and my parents were very supportive of me. They even said, don't listen to this, Bobby. You know what you want. You know what you want in life, and you go forward with that. Don't listen to this. And the thing is, I went to school when I lived away at school for 4 years, and I proved them wrong.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that people are putting limitations on autistic people's futures.
It's more common than you think, especially and that's the problem today is that, we have there's those out there who say, oh, we must help autistics, but they don't listen to us. They think we're just one type of autistic. But if you met one, you met one. We're so diverse in our cognition and our skills and our interests. You have to hear us out. And a lot of leaders and organizations that just don't listen, they need to listen to us.
So were there some skills that you learned while you were an adolescent that helped you live alone when you were in college?
All the skills I learned was actually when I actually lived away at school. I was able to plan out have a planner for when my classes are, what my dates are. I took certain medications, when do I need my medications filled? Having a plan for myself, a planner and things like that have helped me.
Thanks for tuning in to Autism Knows No Borders. Would you like to hear Robert talk about how to help autistic people find jobs? Follow the link in the show notes for the full conversation, and be sure to subscribe for more insights from people connected to autism, inspiring change, and building community. Let's work together to transform how the world relates to autism. Thanks for listening. Take care.